Thank you. Hey, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Extra Feature Energy. I have a fabulous guest who's just fun to hang out with. Frank Palgini's here. Welcome. Your new film, American Psycho, is available on Fansome. And I don't know, probably 8,000 other places. So just look him up, guys. There's lots of stuff on him. How it's going, buddy?
How you doing?
I'm
I am
good.
back
This is your new
again.
film?
Yeah, American Psychopath is the new one that's out right now. Yep.
Now, when did this come out?
It came out well on some platforms in March, April or so. It's still coming out on other
So
platforms, so
I'm
it'll be
up
a
to
little
date
bit.
for once.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
great to hear.
Yep.
So this is a little different what you usually make me watch. I find you've evolved as a filmmaker in this one. I definitely see you've expanded your world,
Yeah.
and I find you take some risks in this film that I haven't seen you take before.
Because it's a full feature, right? Up to then, I had mostly made anthologies. I mean, Souls of the Dam was a full feature, but it was based off of two other movies, right? This is its complete own idea, starting over. And yeah, it's more of a thriller. It's a thriller horror, I would say. And it's kind of keeps you guessing too the whole time, where it's like you don't quite know who the killer is, and it's a mystery. The girl loses her memory, right? And that's I came up with that too because I'm like, okay, I want to do a psycho where I kill her off in like the first 15 minutes of the film, but I don't want her dead. So what do I do? Well, you find out in the movie, but
I'm not saying anything. So this seems to be your genre, even off the beginning. I know I'm watching a Frank film as soon as I watch your films. I know it. So my question is, you ever made a film not involving a killer?
oh yeah, I made some fan films that are like Superman, Batman, dark kind of like Punisher-esque kind of stuff too. Um I did a Ace Ventura knockoff fan film at
Really?
one point. Yeah, years and years and years ago.
Is that
Um,
allowed to be found anywhere? Is that on the internet?
I don't know. The trailer I think is still on YouTube, but YouTube might have taken down because they used to take down some of the fan films. They might have taken down that one, but I think the trailer's still on my channel. That's what we're gonna call it. I remember all that, doing all the mannerisms and
Oh,
stuff.
wow. Awesome. So, at the beginning of the film, you have a bunch of people talking about psychopaths and how to evolve us be a serial killer. Who are
Yeah.
these people, or did you steal this from somebody?
They're bloggers. Well, they're all actors, but in the movie they're bloggers. They're
I don't know.
people
I
that
want to know who they are in real life. Obviously I know they're
they
actors.
are. One was a voiceover actor, and he's actually going to be teaching somewhere, I think New York City or New Jersey. Another guy just always loved film. He kind of produces some stuff, and another one's a rock drummer from the band. He was in the band Sixth Century. They opened up for a lot of artists and stuff. He's from Pennsylvania. He's like, yeah, man, I'll do it. He's the guy standing up and talking. And then my friend
Yes.
Bo, who plays bass, he's the other guy sitting down at the table talking.
Interesting. And then
Yep.
obviously that's shot in black and white.
No, I shot in color. I just converted it that way.
As always, you just like to play with me, don't you? Just let it
Yeah.
give me some texture. I got it. I got it. So
Yep.
why it's having such an expansive universe for you? Because I mean, I was shocked by this film. Like it's big for you from what I've normally seen.
Yeah, to me it feels like my first film. Like the first three are very trial and error, and it's an idea I've had for, 20 years. And if those never happened and say this was the one film that everybody saw, I would be okay with that because it's to me it feels like the start of it. And then we were talking about the short film, which you probably bring up later, the Everyone Has One, and it kind of feels like I'm going into a direction in a way with that kind of stuff. Thriller, I love. I mean, I love like 80s slasher movies and stuff, but the it just happens to be where I think my original ideas are more psycho thriller kind of stuff, which because it's a lot less blood and gore too. Like with the one company I make movies for, like American Psychopath, he goes, you can do it, but it can't be over the top. It can't be bloody, and so we're not gonna have guts, and we're not gonna have all the gore and stuff in there. So it leads you to be like, okay, how do I get creative and still maintain that feeling? There's a feeling of dread in the movie, sort of, and this it's kind of a downer in a good way, in a different way. And so I use camera angles and I use the intensity of the actors and stuff to convey the pain rather than seeing it, which is an old school thing. It's Hitchcock.
So I want to back this up. So you work for two different companies then?
I'm trying to find a second company for because I did a side film for this new one that I'm doing, and
So hang
Cinema
on.
Epoch's the one I that we got going on.
Let me ask my question better. American Psycho, you obviously filmed it, directed, did all that stuff. I got
Yep.
that. Now you give it to this other company?
Yeah, and they distribute it. Yep, they're a
Okay.
distributor.
So they gave you rules about what kind of film you have to make, is what I'm understanding.
A little bit. They like PG, it's PG-14 stuff because the advertisers will spend more money on
Okay.
like commercials and stuff.
Now you know
Um,
where I'm going. That's just what I
yeah,
want to get into. You should know
yeah,
better.
yeah. But the
So
fans though love the rated R. They're loving the Terrifier stuff, which, that's not that type of movie. But
no, that's definitely an R-rated film.
yeah,
Okay.
unrated
So
film.
your opening
Uh,
kill is with like a green lighting. Did you shoot that normal and then play with it, or is that actually on set?
Yeah, I used night vision actually.
Okay, I was
Yeah,
wondering if
that's what
that could
that
have been it.
was. Yep. It's kind of an homage to what's to come. And I wanted you mentioned the definition of a, serial killer. I wanted to start off this more serious. So I go, how do I do that and not show footage? Like, because you're always showing something and I'm like, sometimes it can look cheap or this and this. And I go, let's just do what they did in like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, some of these documentary films where they quote somebody. I go, instead of a quote, this is going to be a definition. It's going to be this, and then we're going to go to like the news reports. So I think it's really sets the tone of like, okay, it's a little more serious than like a slasher kind of thing.
So this is the first time I've actually seen you shoot in a car. Like you're actually in the car shooting while the person's
Yes.
driving. I've never seen you do this before.
Yeah, I don't think
So is this
I
a
have
new experience for you?
in some fan films I used to do that here and there. I used to do it from the back seat. I had front seat hanging out the window. Um, I think out of a trunk too once we did something. But, you know, not really. That is literally, yeah, in the car shooting that. I need a little fancier rig if you're going to stabilize the camera better and have that more cinematic look. But I go, this is more of a documentary style kind of look, the way it starts off, and I think it helps that rather if it was like super smooth.
Well, you're going where I'm going then. The lighting I thought was just natural lighting almost.
Yeah, yep, pretty much.
So was that a problem for you just doing natural lighting? Because I mean, we don't really get to see the lead's face until later.
Yeah, not really. I mean, we did use lights and stuff, but it was made to look that way. And then a lot of it, like the scenes in the garage, the lights were outside the window. They're I put lights kind of secretly too, where you don't see them. Like you always want one kind of behind, especially if it's dark, the actor. And it's not to light the background. It's not even to light the subject. It's to get a little bit of that glow coming out of the hair or when you move an arm. It's more of it's texture so that you stand out from the background. So it's kind of like a pop of contrast in a way if you're into photo stuff.
So this lead actor, how did you find her?
Erica is, yeah, she's amazing. She's gonna be studying at NYU this summer for a course. They're only like 13 people that get accepted, and they accepted her. And everyone has seen it. They're just like, who? They ask the same thing. Who is this girl? So I acted in a short film from one of the guys who did my music videos years ago. I would say like 9 years ago now. We were in one short film and a scene. I just met her, didn't think anything of it. And then a couple years later, we did a short film called They're Watching, which is on my YouTube playlist. That's directed by the other guy. And I noticed it in there. I go, because she was the main character, and I go, she's really good, and she has this like repressed quality. And I call her my Jamie Lee Curtis. That's what I call her. But yeah, there's just something about, and then this new film, she has a role in it too, a really good role.
Okay, let's go back. I can't remember. You're gonna remember the name of the film better. It's about the guy and he goes away and the guy wears a mask killer and it's got a hotel in it. The guy goes to the hotel and he calls the hotel guy and he goes, oh, he's not here, picks up the phone, goes and sits right back in. I can't remember the name of the film, but you know what I'm talking about. The pizza
Yeah, I
guy
think I've
is where
seen
I'm
that.
going. And I can't remember. I'm gonna get in trouble. It's my buddy's favorite Prowler. The Prowler.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. We
Okay.
I just watched that, and I was actually in a meeting with Joe. We watched all the trailers and stuff together. He doesn't even live in the country anymore, but so it's funny you mention it because the writer of this new movie I'm doing had him on his podcast. And so hopefully we're gonna screen this new movie for him, see what he thinks.
Okay. So the guy in the Prowler, I'm convinced it's the guy in the pizza place. The guy that runs the hotel. It's a very similar, don't give
Yeah,
a
it's a
crap
similar vibe.
character.
I want any male character is actually a suspect.
Yes,
The guy in the garage, any of them.
but I like the way you set that up. I think you did a great job with all your male characters of setting up who was who.
They're all weird.
Yes, but the pizza guy, I'm kind of like, I have no slices and didn't seem to want to have any interest in anybody to talk to. I'm like, go away.
Exactly. Sure. You
So,
keep saying sure a lot. I put
yeah,
in weird stuff like that. The mechanic, the candy corn from Psycho, and he's
yes.
just odd, and he's maybe a little slow or something. And then, yeah, the pizza guy is just odd, and he repeats things, and he doesn't quite get facts right either. And you have the husband that is the doctor, right? And he's always so busy, and he's kind of an ass. So I think there was maybe one other character. Oh, the Rob, who was the radio station boyfriend, who works at the radio station. So you might think it's him too, because he works right at the radio station. But
So,
they all have this weird factor, which I did it on purpose. And I go,
okay.
okay, the lady characters are the normal ones in this movie. Yeah,
So I want to go back to the pizza place. I'm not done. Where is this place? Because it is a real pizza place.
it is a real place. It's down the road from me. My dad grew up with his brother, and his brother had a pizza shop for years and years and years, and then he opened that up 9 or 10 years ago. I played music there, and I've eaten there 1,000 times, and it does exist. You can drive by it in Queensbury, New York.
Oh, I want to back this up a bit. You played music there?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We did an acoustic music night there.
Hold on. So they played live music. So there's more to the pizza place than what I saw then.
Well, at one time, yeah. That was years ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Before
So
COVID.
so you had no problems getting on location then.
No, and I go, "Do you want to be in it?" And he's like, he's never acted in anything, but he loves horror movies and stuff because he had me pick up a copy of Hellraiser or something for him, and I was like, "I think you could play since you're the pizza guy." I go, "You could play the pizza guy." I play off the strengths, and I go, "I know you haven't acted, but I go, if you say these lines this way and you kind of be yourself in an odd manner, I go, this is how it's going to come off." So.
So is that the way your brain works? I'm going to go a bit more into your thinking that
Yes, I could look at you and say, based off your strengths, I have this character, and you'd
yes.
be like, "Well, I don't act. I'm not an actor." In a certain role in a certain way, you can.
So in your neighborhood, are you known as the movie guy?
For years they know me as the musician, the rock guy. So, but they also know that I make movies. So it's kind of it depends on who I know, I guess, or who knows me. But if I run into somebody, or if sometimes I'm in a store and somebody stops me, they were like, "You that singer guy, right?" And I was like, yep.
Interesting.
I play guitar more, but yes.
So
Yeah.
Lake Crystal's a flashback, a reference to obviously Friday the 13th.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I had to
Yeah.
be. I'm like, there's no way I can let that go by because I mean
There's
that.
lots of references in there. Oh yeah.
Well, that was the thing. Okay, you have a classic radio station, and I mean they do play music, but none of them are really classic songs
No,
because
he's
you can't play
delusional.
them. So I want to ask you, if you ran your classic radio station, what would you play?
Well, I have a modern rock radio show that I do on a Radio Wigwam, and you could play classic rock stuff, but mostly late 70s, early 80s, I would say.
So what would you surprise your listeners with? Someone like myself who's pretty fluid on those years.
I mean, I might play an AC/DC, but it's not the same four songs that you've heard.
Thank you. I would appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean once in a while, but like if I played Metallica or something like that, it wouldn't just be Enter Sandman over and over and
Oh,
over again.
thank you. I
You
would
know,
appreciate that.
throw in Orion, which they can't because there's no lyrics in there. You know what I mean?
Well,
They
that's what
won't
I
play that
want
one
to
on the
hear.
radio.
That's what you
Yeah.
want to hear,
Well, you
something
know what I
different.
want to hear? I'll tell you exactly. Motor Breath. That's the one I would
There
play.
we go. I do
Yeah.
not know that song. I haven't heard it in a
Yeah.
while if I have. Okay, there is a shot you use, and she's coming out of the garage, and it's a beautiful tunnel shot. And I want to give you full credit on that shot. It's like a dark tunnel, it's got light at the end, and I've never seen you use such a long shot. I was like, that is what I want to see from you. That to me
Yeah.
is progression from your films. As
Thank
of
you.
watching
Thank you.
lots of your films, I gotta say, good work. I was very happy to see that from you. So I want to know how you
I know what you're
approach that
talking about.
shot differently than you approach your other shots. Because I've never seen you do such a long take shot. And you
I,
shot
I
that perfectly.
I haven't in my originals. Now, when I made Halloween fan films, there's some shots like that. I thought back to John Carpenter, Halloween. I was like, it's the scene where she walks from the house to the other house.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do in my own way in that whole segment. You know, she walks through neighborhoods and streets. There's even the hedges from Halloween in there. If you see, she walks past the hedges on the right side after the motorcycle goes like that. It's all in there. Yeah.
So why that pathway? Did you know that tunnel existed?
Nope. I just said let's go here. It's kind of like it's part of the school. It's an outdoor field. There's like four fields,
I thought it
and
was like a snack bar. It looked like a snack bar on the
it kind
right.
of does look that way. Yeah, it's like a center bathroom snack bar
Yeah,
place in the
that's what
middle,
I
but
thought it was.
obviously it's closed. But so I used it as she's coming out of the hospital because I go close up and the brick and this and this. I go, looks like the backside of a hospital that
I would give
not
it to
many
you.
people would use.
Yes.
Yeah.
So did you do, there's no lighting on that shot, right? It's just a straight shot. That's what I thought.
Yeah, there's no lighting in the outside scenes. I have a little light on my camera, so if she gets close up, you can see a little like color on her face, but there's no light. Yep,
Yeah. So
yep.
when you're putting, I didn't see much makeup on your actor either. I'd say she's almost plain most of the movie.
Yeah, I think she does like a little foundation, but
Yeah, nothing
I just told her whatever you want to do.
interesting. So as a director, you really don't get involved in that then.
No, I always tell everybody you can do your hair and makeup beforehand. What if you want to touch it up in between? You know, if something's like really off, or if I notice something or something's bothering you, you can let me know. But I'm more focused on the shots, the lighting, the lines. I don't really think about like, oh, we need to put more makeup on somebody. I always say, yeah, you look great. It's great. More natural, I think is better in most cases, unless it's like a flashback or something.
So let's go on about the lighting. I like to discuss your lighting because you do very minimal. I would constantly say
Yeah.
throughout your films, you do have lights, obviously, but minimal light. So you seem, would you call yourself a naturalist almost in filmmaking?
It doesn't feel like it because I some of the scenes I have six lights in there, but they're not they're not intense. It's to color a palette sometimes, you know what I mean? But it looks like, I don't know, would you say the original Halloween looks natural? The
Yes,
lighting? Original
yes,
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. See that
yes. That's exactly what I would say.
that's my
Those are natural lights.
influences. Even Nightmare on Elm Street. Now I get the dream kind of stuff,
Yes.
those colors, the saturation. I get that from that movie. But that's what I grew up on. Even I have to say it, the movie the Crow, it's very gothic, it's very dark. There is lighting in it, but it's very black and white natural as well too, and you have stuff coming in from rooftops and windows, and it's not like I have seen those new horror movies, I'm sure you have, where they take a green light and they light the whole scene and you could tell like the tone is green. Let's say Saw. Remember Saw, right? That tone, that room is all you can tell. It's a green saturated light scheme. I haven't done anything like that yet. I just cuz I'm like, well, if it's one color, I don't know if it's as interesting. You know what I mean? And if like, you take that color, maybe you shoot it on the wall, but then the foreground is natural or something.
I would say you see a good use of that in Angel Eyes. I don't know if you've seen that yet.
Yeah, I saw that one a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
I see a lot of what you're going for in Angel Eyes. That
Yeah.
just swooping color throughout the film.
Yeah, it's a little bit of like I know we did last summer. I always liked that movie too. I had a
That's
little bit of
almost a
that in my
natural.
mind.
That's a great film.
Yeah.
Why don't you remake that for me? Oh, they're supposed to be remaking it.
Yeah, it's coming
So
out soon.
I didn't even know. See, you know me, I just pay attention. So
It's
with
a
all those
reboot.
locations, did you find you were actually busy for once?
Yeah, I shot it for 3 months.
Aha, that's what I was going for. You knew what I was
Yeah.
going for there. Good.
Yeah.
So how did you find this so different from a short film? I mean, short film you can shoot in a couple days, maybe four at most, five. You're shooting 3 months. Is this every weekend? Is this during the week? How did you work out your schedule?
It's every week. Yeah, usually a couple days every week or once a week depending on what to do. But I was shooting little things every day in between everything else. So between recording music and mixing and the radio shows, and I do promotions, and I teach guitar lessons and stuff like that. So I'm kind of utilized like, well, okay, after guitar lessons, I could get that shot of the garage or something like that. And the next day we can do that. And it depends on the actor schedules. I would get it done quicker, I will say that, but the actor schedules, because you're utilizing them, you have to work on their time. So, but I set up things beforehand, so might set up the garage or something that night or whatever it is. But um,
Do you
yeah,
find
it's
your other projects? I mean, you're a very busy man. I know that, but maybe other people. Would you rather just block off your time and go, okay, I got to film a movie for 3 weeks. Let's get this done. Or you prefer the way you do it?
in an official world, maybe. Like if it was for like you're making a movie for Lionsgate or something, it's like, yes, I would like that because I would be completely focused,
Yeah,
and
of
you
course.
have to be. See, when you're doing it, it's not a hobby, but I can't say it that I'm doing it for a living yet, right? So I have
Right.
to fit it in with everything else to hopefully someday, whether it's films that completely take off or I'm more busy with my music and the film stuff I still do, but it's kind of between. I have to fit in the other stuff, what pays, obviously, and then what helps get you to the next step, or at least in your head.
You
The
sound like a
vision, the
podcaster.
no plan B, like I always put
Yeah.
on all my shirts.
You sound like a podcaster. When am I going to watch this film? Oh, what do you mean I have to go to work? Oh, okay. I'll get on that. Okay. 1 o'clock's okay. Right on calendar. Busy at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
I totally know where you're going.
Well,
Let's
I
go into
mean,
your, go ahead.
I can give you a little example. Like,
Yeah.
if I wake up in the morning, right, I do all the social media stuff first. Sometimes I do a little editing. I do all my emails. Based off those emails depends on what I have to do that day. because sometimes a job or you have to deal with certain things, or it's like yesterday was like a casting call for a tourist ad. So I had to do all that. I had to set up all the stuff. It's all setting digital stuff up for music, film, casting, all that stuff. Then you're like, okay, am I filming today? Am I writing an outline? Am I editing? Am I recording demos, or am I actually working on a song that's coming out sometime? And am I working on stock stuff? Am I teaching? Am I, you know, the radio show? Like, this Wednesday I have to interview a band, so you have to research that and you got to do all that kind of stuff. So
That sounds very
yeah,
familiar.
yeah, too familiar.
It just makes me laugh. You have some great sounds. Again, in this film, you always impress me watching your stuff, different sounds and in nice places. It's like you have a great sense of knowing when something is supposed to have a sound.
Yeah, yep,
Now, where does that come from? Is that just something learned from watching too many films or just something you feel?
both. Yeah,
Okay.
I believe it's something that you have to have because I've seen movies and I've known people that have made projects, and I go, they don't have, it's, I call it like a natural rhythm. They don't have the natural rhythm to put that in. They'll put in scary music, but in their head it's like, well, I put scary music in that scene and it's cued, but to me it's like, no, it was a wrong scary music, that sort of thing. You can go different ways depending on the mood that you want, but or they're just putting in things where the sound, it doesn't make sense. Like, why would you put that in there? It just, it's kind of like a demo that you make, in your basement or your garage, and you associate it with like, you're, I don't know how to explain it, but it's all work in progress, but you have to have a natural sense of, and to realize like, yeah, that doesn't work, or that's crap. We gotta work on that. So I'm very aware. Like, it's not like I do something and it's like that's the best thing in the world or something. I'm always like, that can be improved. That could be worked on.
Oh
I'm not
no.
entirely happy with that.
Oh my God. You got to smack yourself. You're doing much. I'm very happy with this film.
See that, if you think that I'm probably doing something right, but it's me pushing to where I want to go. You know what I mean? Because I always say, my famous words too are, I'm not there yet. So I have to push that hard.
Okay. I'm going to challenge you then there. What is there? Like, I mean, I'm a podcaster. Is as far as I'm going to make it then? Should I just stop? Say, okay, you're my last interview until I made it? Or
Yeah,
do I keep
maybe.
pushing to meet new people and watch more film? Or, I mean, help me out
Yeah,
here.
it's self
Where is
growth
there?
too. Yeah, it's self growth. It's saying, it's, have you reached your peak sort of tune in a way.
Well,
And it's like,
I'm
and
on
it's
the
like
other side of 50, buddy. I think it's over for me.
never over. Never
Okay.
over.
Your music, again, always impresses me by the amount of different music you have, like something I've never heard before. I
Yeah,
love this. So get into the music. How'd you find
thanks.
these guys?
Um, well, there's in the track, there's different companies and stuff you can use royalty free music, and some of the
Yes.
tracks like on the radio that are the classical music and this I've taken from that, and then my song Love is in there for my first EP. It's
Oh,
instrumental, but when she's in the car talking to, I think it's Teddy or her father, one of those. It's that in the
I think it's her
background.
father. 'Cause I think it's in the
I
beginning.
think I think it is. I get that mixed up because the other scene's like the country guy with the guitar. Yeah.
Yes.
Um, what's funny is I was watching a movie with is his name Aaron Eckhart, the guy who played
Yes.
Two-Face
You're
from.
correct.
I was watching a movie that he released this year, and I was watching it sitting back, and all of a sudden, you in this movie, right? The theme is that classical theme. When that killer puts on that classical music, you know somebody's gonna die, right? So I'm just sitting there watching the movie, and then I hear this classical. It's the same exact track, and to see it in one of his movies, that movie takes place in Italy or something, and I'm like, wow, it's just a weird, it's surreal and it's weird. It's like that was in my movie, and I'm seeing it with some famous actor and this, and I'm getting a totally different feeling,
Good.
you know. So that's cool.
Well, I always have to ask you about your costuming because we know how much we both enjoy costumes.
Oh
So
yeah,
another different look this time. You have like it must be the man of 1,000 costumes.
yep, yep. Well, I used to, but I just thought really plain. I go, this guy. He's not, but I go, what if he's kind of a construction kind I don't want to do a construction dude, right? So the jacket came from that notion of maybe he worked construction, maybe he's a blue collar guy. Almost like Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 when he wore that coat and the hood.
Oh, I was
And I
going Nail
was,
Gun Massacre.
what one?
Nail Gun Massacre?
Nah, I never seen that one.
Oh, you need to watch Nail Gun
All right.
Massacre. I'm gonna
Well, I
put
got
one
I
out
go,
that
what about something with a hood? Because I
well,
go, I don't want to do Scream. You know what I mean?
well, this guy wears some like a leather vest, like a leather outfit, and has a motorcycle helmet on the whole movie,
Oh, okay.
and
Okay,
runs around
cool.
with a nail gun.
That's cool. Now the
I just think he
mask,
looks great. The mask, yes, is awesome. I like it. It looks like a
it's
fencing
a
mask almost.
yeah. You mean in my movie or that movie?
No, your movie.
Oh, my movie. So it's a custom sculpt that this kid made. There's two copies, and then he made me a half mask that's cut in half, kind of like a hockey mask, and it's all
Okay.
dirty. You didn't see that one in the film,
No.
but no, not yet.
Here we go. My last question about your
Yeah.
film. Do you always play a character in your films?
Yeah. Yep.
Can I always look for you?
Yeah. Whether it's a cameo or the killer, always. Yep.
Okay. Usually I have three questions, but today I'm going to give you one because I think this one to be a long answer. I know you love horror movies as much as I do, and I know you love horror characters as much as I do.
Yeah.
So I want you to recast the Running Man with horror characters.
Oh, wow. That's cool. I don't think I've ever seen a movie like that with that because I love Running Man. I love Running
I know
Man.
you would. So I want you can cast your lead as whoever you want. I don't care who the lead is, but I want you to pick the six characters he has to fight.
Well, it would definitely have to be Jason because he's the brawler. You know
Okay,
what I
so he's
mean?
gonna be the running man.
But you're talking the villains or the heroes?
The hero, who's our hero first? Why don't we
Oh, I
start
was gonna
there?
say let's cast all the villain characters.
Okay, we can go the villain. So Jason's in there.
I would go Jason. I would go see somebody has to be based in reality too. Like it can't be Freddy Krueger. He's not, he's not
I'm leaving
um
it up to you.
the Wishmaster because he's real. I think the Leprechaun would be
I
hilarious
was
in that.
about to go there with the leprechaun. I do have a leprechaun question for
Yep.
number two if you
Maybe a
want
little
for
chop,
it.
maybe the team up, maybe it's him and Chucky or something like that
There
too.
we go.
Kind of cool. I could see both of them running after everybody, or him and I always thought they'd do a Leprechaun and Wishmaster crossover because of the wishes and stuff. The other one is you could do Hellraiser too. The Running Man, comes across the box, and
I
you
don't know.
could
That
do
might be a problem for the running man. That box might take him out.
yeah. That might be cool though. And definitely Leatherface. Definitely
Okay.
Leatherface. Yep.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of one more that would fit and it's not too maybe one of the modern serial killers. I'm not sure from what movie, but somebody like a smarter serial killer, you know what I mean? That's less like I'm huge and that kind of stuff.
Okay. I do. You know what? I'm gonna ask you a second question just because we have a few seconds left. What's the best Leprechaun movie?
Number one and two.
See, my favorite, I think, is three when the guy becomes the Leprechaun.
Really?
I
Oh,
love
I
that one.
to me I thought that one was the most chinky.
It is.
but
I love
it has
it.
its qualities. I actually like the one in space when I was a kid a
Oh,
lot.
that's five. That's five. That's the last one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Tell everybody, we know where you can find you. It's on the shirt, but you can tell them anyway if you're not
You can
watching
go
it
to
on YouTube.
palangifilms.com or look me up on all the social medias under Palangi Films. So you can go to frankpalangi.com. All the movies, the first three movies are on Tubi, so you can follow them. Some of them are on Troma TV. Fossum has the American Psychopath. You can actually watch all the movies for free on YouTube. You just type in like American Psychopath full movie, it'll come right up. And there'll be some more platforms and stuff that are taking it. Tubi, we will see. They've kind of changed different policies, but and you can get your Palangi Films and American Psychopath T-shirts too through my websites. I
Excellent.
use Threadless, so you can it's order on demand. So just whatever size, it'll come right to you.
Thank you for your time as always. Have a great day.
Thanks, guys.